So today I'm reporting to you about the deep mulch area of leaves. Normally I would expect this to be a fairly good success. It isn't, but not for the expected reason. The one thing that I have failed to understand about this site is the wind. Every time there's a remote slight wind, it belts across this field. I haven't been able to uncut, I haven't felt like I could uncover the leaves because they just blow away. So in this location, making a bed out of leaves just isn't going to work long term. So I'm abandoning that idea for this field. When I've done it in the allotment situation, it worked absolutely fabulous. And the results were roughly 3/4 of a bed made out of compost. It was really quite good. I had good quality cabbages, reasonable crops of other veg that was in there as well. The cabbage in particular was a very good indication of fertility because they're very nitrogen hungry, and for them to grow to 3/4 their potential represented a success to me. Here I have got a couple of cabbages in. They have suffered greatly because of the slugs. So that is a second reason I'm going to abandon them. I'll show you them in the video as we go along. Today I'm going to be stripping these beds away. We'll get a look at see how the beds actually finished up. So this area was made up of fallen leaves last autumn. The top half had reclaimed leaves from the tarmac that had been there for a considerable while, probably a couple of years. So they have already had a good chance to break down, whereas the bottom half was fresh leaves off the tree. And it definitely did make a difference as far as the material left on the ground. Here I'm just removing some of the more persistent weeds. This is the cabbages. What a state. I'm very sad to say that the slugs and possibly the voles got the better of them. There we go. So this is the leaves, the fresh leaves I'm just raking off here. And this is the great idea from Ziggy, which is using builder's bags to contain the leaves. And this will be extremely handy in my situation because of the wind factor. As you see, they fill up very easy. Leaves not being too heavy, I can drag that off when it's full. Check out Ziggy's channel for yourselves. He has a wealth of experience and some great videos. See the notes below. So this is the looser material, but there's still quite a few leaves in there. I want to give myself a little bit of a break here. I was going to put it through the sieve, but I've decided just to lawnmower this material, and it was very worthwhile doing because it smashed the leaves down very small. And after using the lawnmower, I'm left with quite a good material on the ground to actually use. This little fellow, I'm going to stake this one up, see if we can get him straightened up and plant it out in the autumn. It's a chestnut tree. This little section here was 2 months later than the rest of it, and it's nowhere near as good. So that extra 2 months on the ground definitely was a good thing. Because like it's, you know, you can see it's really worked well. This is the material that I've got off that plot, so nice little leaves. And this barrel is 3/4 full of this type of material, and that's after they've been lawnmowed, and that should give them a good head start for Leafmold perhaps for next year. Obviously I will add a large amount of water to that section now. I'm using a 3-pronged cultivator to loosen up the topsoil. I'm not even going down into the actual soil, so it's still valid for no diggers, but just basically trying to get at any big lumps, going through, picking up rubbish, which you always will get a leaf mold, breaking it a little bit down afterwards as well, just to make it flat. There was some couch grass still showing here. It isn't defeated. The rhizomes will be back. We'll just have to see how much of a problem that will be for the future. This last little bit took a little bit more effort to do because of that unrotted surface. So that extra couple months really was something to be treasured, I guess. At the big rate, just to flatten everything down, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it to green manure, because I now want to start breaking up the compaction that's in the bed, and the roots of mustard will do that nicely and nice and quickly, and start adding fertility to the bed. So the simplest sowing you'll get all year is broadcasting any green manure. Very satisfying. Although I'm going to try and not go so crazy as I did with the previous sowings, because I definitely oversowed in beds I've done already. So I'm trying to make sure that I scatter evenly. It's not too important, but you know, it all helps. I'm going to leave the cabbage in there to see how they come on, and obviously the potatoes, and I'll use the comparison yield to see how successful the background fertility is, and the fertility gained from leaf mold, because we're constantly told there's no fertility in leaf mold, which is true, but the natural ability for the actual soil to convert that material down into nutrients will do that job for you. There we are. So that bed's completed. As you see, it's a moderate success against couch grass. I have pointed out a couple times the odd sprig of couch grass that is just there waiting to come up, so we may well see a resurgence of it yet. The couch grass ain't done yet, but it's a free resource, not used in plastic. It's a complete success. I will see the dandelions again, I know that, but I think when they come up I'll spot dig them and just go with it. Thank you very much for joining me again. See you next time. Bye for now.